Welcome to Check Your Day, the daily podcast with Renča, aka your guide through the jungle called Czech. We spend 5 minutes from Monday to Friday to get better at one topic in Czech. Ahoj, welcome! Today is the very special episode. We started this topic last week and the theme was: what questions would Renča ask a potential tutor? So last week we covered the topics such as how long, how often, and so on. And today I have another set of questions that I consider really important. So let's dive right in. Jdeme na to! One question I would definitely ask, and that may surprise you, is: are you learning a foreign language? Why? There are multiple reasons. One of them is learning a language keeps you humble. And for a tutor, it's an extremely important quality, in my opinion. And it helps you as a tutor not to get to this stage thinking like, oh my God, we have done this for so many times and he or she doesn't still remember. Because you experience the same thing, There are simply some expressions that are not easy to remember. I have a list of them in my Spanish. And so when this happens during our lessons and my student is like, oh my God, I still can't remember this word, I'm like, shall I share my list? We are in the same shoes. We are on the same boat. And I think this is extremely important. Because learning a language is a journey. It's not about being perfect. It's about not giving up. And when you do it every day, taking baby steps, you will see that you will definitely reach your goal. It's much more efficient than sprinting, because when you sprint, after 100 meters, you are exhausted and you don't continue. We need to be the marathon runners, okay? To be successful, to achieve our dreams, to achieve our goals. So learning a foreign language as a tutor, crucial. Another thing, I use Spanish to test the methods I use for my students. So I am a lab rep for myself. I always test everything before I share it with public, with my students, with any product I do. It is always tested. There is also another aspect that, in my opinion, should be mentioned. The thing is the tutor doing what he or she is preaching? Because how can I take seriously a person who tells me you should do this, this, and this, and he or she doesn't do that in his or her own life? So this is something, because in my opinion, a tutor should lead by example. If you request something from your students, you should be the one doing that consistently for, some time, because you should be ahead of your students. Be the leader, be the one who gives an example, who inspires people. Because if they see in the tutor that it's possible, that there are no boundaries, there are just limits in your own head, and that it's totally possible to overcome it, then there is, no stop. Nothing can stop you when you have this. And I think this is a really important role of a tutor, to inspire the students, to show that there definitely are possibilities and the sky is the limit, basically. I would definitely ask the tutor this question. Is it possible to record the lessons, and can you share them with me? No worries about GDPR, I will give you my written permission. Why? I do that with my students. I record my lessons. Of course, they have to give me their written permission because of GDPR. And some of them use it, some of them not. It's up to them. But the students who rewatch their lessons, they realize tons of stuff, and it helps with their progress significantly. So I highly recommend it. So I would ask this question because I want to give myself the chance to realize stuff that I didn't during the lesson, because it sometimes may feel overwhelming. So by re-listening, you are giving yourself the chance to let it soak in. And that goes hand in hand with another question. Do you provide any extra materials? I am not expecting, material after each lesson. Of course not, because it's about speaking mainly. But from time to time, when, for example, we start a new topic or some extra practice, definitely, because I want to improve faster. Another question or questions I would ask would be, is there a waiting list? And the second question is, on average, how long do usually students study with you? Because it shows a lot. If there is a waiting list, there is a high chance that people are happy with the lessons. The same goes for the average time students study with the tutor. I can give you an example from my own life. On average, students, when they get the spot, they don't want to give it up. They are happy that they have one. So majority of my students have been studying with me 2 years, 1.5 years, on average this period of time. I have some students short term, but that's like a special category, and these are the ones I prepare for a permanent residency exam. That's A2 exam, and they are usually for 1 month or 2 months. It's just a short-term goal, just for them to be able to speak, to pass the speaking part of an exam. The rest of the students, once they start my lessons, they keep going and they enjoy the ride. So that's why there is a waiting list for my lessons, because it's hard to get the spot, basically. The last student I have accepted had to wait for my lessons for 7 months. But people are willing to wait because they know that it's worth it, that they will reach the goals they want. If They study, of course. It's not only about me, it's about your effort, of course. I'm not the one learning, but I will do my best to have the right, enjoyable, with lots of fun and meaningful, like I really want the best for you. And just to make it clear, I am not saying that a tutor without a waiting list is a bad tutor. No way. There may be tutors who have just started and it takes time to build up the clientele, but it's a sign. I have unique lessons. People see that they really work, that they are effective, and they are definitely worth having. And it's not easy to get the chance. And that's the reason I decided to open the community, because I want more foreigners to experience the same progress, the same success as my students. And I can't triple myself, quadruple myself, So the community is my chance of sharing the methods with foreigners from all around the world. And activate your check. That's it. I would also ask, do you set up goals with your students? Do you agree on what's the long-term goal and also the milestones? And another question, do you check on them regularly? The thing is, I always have a talk with my students, definitely before we start, having our lessons. And it's worth spending the extra 35 minutes or so to discuss it. Because if you don't ask this, if you don't make it clear, how can you navigate it? And also I set up weekly goals. Sometimes my students are not aware of that, but I definitely check on them. And yeah, they are just surprised that they have learned it, that they are able to use it, and that's so rewarding. That's awesome. So I think that setting up goals and definitely checking whether we have achieved them or what areas should be focused on more, crucial for having effective lessons. So I would ask these two questions for sure. And then I would ask about the price. So you can see I would grill the potential tutor because I want to spend my time and money in an effective way. I have only certain amount of minutes every day, and I'm careful how I invest my time. And when I decide to focus on something to fulfill a dream, I really work on it every day, and I want to see the results. Step by step, baby steps, over a month, over 2 months, I can see huge changes. And the same thing happens to my students. So I highly recommend you to think about these questions. I am not saying that these are the only good questions. I have created these 2 episodes, that means for this week and the one from the last week, as an inspiration. And it may help you realize certain things. Price tag is not the most important question, because you spend tons of time with the tutor. So you should have this, this good vibe. You should feel good about the tutor. You should be excited that you will have the lessons again, you should definitely feel better after the lesson than you were before. And that's what I frequently hear from my students, that they most of the time are excited because they know that they will be recharged after the lesson, not the other way around. So, yeah, when you click with the tutor and you are happy about the way the tutor approaches the lessons and deals with different situations, go for it and make significant progress for yourself, because life is too short and there is no time to waste time. So I wish you an amazing day. Mějte se hezky, and there will be a new episode waiting for you tomorrow.